Namaskar. Hello and welcome to P Guru's channel. I'm your host Sri Iyer. Seattle votes on Caste today, and that is going to take place in about 3 hours' time from now. We have Shobha Swamy of Kona live and present there covering the event, and we also have NIkunj Trivedi, the president of Kona. He's also covering. He's there from the East Coast. He's joining us from the East Coast. So I'm first going to go to Shobhaji. Shobhaji, Namaskar and welcome to P Guru's channel. You are here for the first time.
Namaste. Yes, Shri. We've been a big fan of your channel and I look forward to this interview. Thank you for having me on your channel.
Thank you so much, Shobhaji. Now, Shobhaji, you are already at the city center and you have a lot of people already gathered there. Kind of walk us through. I don't know if you had a chance to look at the latest amendments that they have proposed. It looks much worse than what the original itself was. So I am wondering what exactly was the rationale behind them trying to put this amendment.
I think they want to shoehorn a couple of points in the amendment so that there is no other opposition to it and that the city council members can vote straight through. That is the objective of adding those amendments so that no single community or single group is targeted and that it's for a general public is what they were telling us.
Shobhaji, I think the people who did these amendments don't realize that they may actually be harming their own vote bank. You know why? The 10% of all Islamic community from India, the greater India, Bharatvarsh, okay, is the one that is actually holding the power. They call themselves Ashrafiyas. You know what that means in loosely? Higher caste. Okay, these are the people who are in positions of power. And now this one includes them also. It's not just Hindus anymore, right? So I'm wondering if this is very counterproductive, but this is just me. But Shobhaji, kind of walk us through what has happened thus far. Why is Shama Sawant aided by the Dalit Diva and, of course, the guy who's a puppeteer in the back? What do they gain to do from this? Because it's going to add a lot more expense to the city operational budget, which is, I'm sure it's training. Everywhere it is training. What is the reason for this? Why divide the society in by one more way?
I'm sure it's a very complex issue and we have to unpeel the onion. There are layers of this going on. So it's perhaps to break up the Hindu community. It's perhaps a bigger picture at play in behind the scenes of maybe breaking India forces. And like Rajiv Malhotra ji says, snakes in the Ganga, what are the forces that unknowingly to us that we are supporting as well, just because we unintentionally and unknowingly we are supporting such forces. So the rationale behind why she's doing this is to support social causes, so as to speak, but the ordinance itself will discriminate us more than anything here in the United States that we know about caste or that we've even encountered in our daily lives, either at work or with the children or anywhere in any of our lives. I've been in this country for more than 33 years and I've never had to, explain anything about caste to any one of my friends or family that I interact with on a daily basis.
Shobhaji, thank you so much. And Nikunj, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule. You are lunchtime in East Coast now. And again, thanks from the bottom of my heart to both of you for agreeing to join on this program at such short notice. We decided that we needed to reach out to the Indian Americans at large and in particular the Indian Americans in Seattle. Nikunj, I hope you had some time to go through this amendment they have proposed. Maybe you can highlight what are the things that are really really objectionable. That's the only way I can describe this. I can read Suhag Shukla's comments on that, but I would like you to kind of walk us through where do you think this is headed? Why this desperation at this last hour?
Yeah, there are two pieces that I would like to highlight. Thank you again for having us. The first one being, as you mentioned, the last minute changes, the 11th hour changes, as you saw, Suhag, you also mentioned about these ordinances, because what's going on is they're seeing opposition, stiff opposition coming from various Hindu groups. By the way, what they're saying is that only upper caste Hindus are opposing it. That's complete nonsense, because we have recorded 2 Dalit groups that are part of us, including on our steering committee, we have Dalit activists who are actively opposing this, because they see this as an attempt to divide the entire society and create more issues than are going to be, that are needed. Number one. Number two is, what they did was to make it palatable, or to appeal to all the different sort of what they call allies, which are like, black groups or Asian groups, things like that. What they have done is they have actually put in language that says, while this has originated in Hinduism, India, hint, hint, dog whistle, right? It affects everybody. Southeast Asia, South Asia, Africa, Japan. I mean, you throw everything under the sun under this caste, this caste ordinance. But my question to them is, which survey are they relying on? The survey that they're relying on has nothing to do with like Asian surveys. Nobody has done a Northern African survey on caste or a Japanese survey on caste. The only survey that they're relying on is the Equality Lab survey that is based on anti-Hindu premises. And we know what Equality Lab says their views are about Hinduism and India, things like that. So again, this language that they have put in is to kind of pacify or maybe appeal to a greater amount of people. And I have information on this because 140 organizations on their side, okay, and major academics, African organizations, church organizations, etc. They were able to get all these organizations together by putting these types of language and say, hey, look, we're not against Hinduism. We're actually against caste oppression, blah, blah, blah. And using the current wave of social justice and sort of like this, sort of the Black Lives Matter alliances that they have built, what they have done is they have duped some of these people to say that, it's not really an attack on Hinduism. It's really just that we're trying to, protect against caste oppression. That's really what they're trying to do. So there's a lot of this last minute jamming through to make, to make it more palatable. They want basically this thing to pass. And as a result, they're going to throw everything under the sun. That's the first point. Just to come to my second point, we also have seen a memo that was shown that the Seattle Office of Civil Rights is gonna incur. They're looking for $185,000 and another $100,000 to implement this, because they need one full-time staff. They need someone who can come in and teach all that stuff. Guess who's going to be teaching this? As we all know, this $185,000 and the $100,000 that they have, so $285,000 that is being requested from the Seattle City Council, is going to be used towards marketing, outreach, training, educational materials, et cetera, and we know who is going to be benefiting the most from this. Not the Hindus, groups like Equality Labs, who are going to be the adjudicators of going in and teaching about caste equity and things like that. So we know where this is going.
Shobhaji, if you happen to see Tenmuri Soundararajan there in person, can you ask her one question from me? Can you ask her how many times has she been to India?
Definitely, I'll do that. Yes, I'm not sure. You probably already know the answer.
I probably know I know the answer. I don't want to reveal it here because then it will put her on guard. But just ask her that question, because if somebody has said that they are championing Dalit rights, you should have suffered some persecution. And for you to suffer some persecution, you should have lived there. And then when did you live there? Your parents are doctors. They've come here and put down roots a long time ago. So this whole thing is a made-up exercise. In my opinion, this whole thing is a made-up exercise. Somebody saw some easy money, because people don't want to deal with it. They say, okay, just give some money. They'll give some sensitivity training. So Equality Labs prepares all these sensitivity training seminars, 1-day seminars, 2 days, all sorts of stuff. And it's easy money, because there are so many companies that need to be doing this. Already, there is a bigger churn going on in the HR department, because they are, being asked to hire people, what have you. So this is a needless additional expenditure overhead on their heads, and that's not what America is built about. America is built upon meritocracy. Let's not forget that. Why do immigrants come to US? Because they feel that they can have a better future, that they can rise to their fullest potential only in America. I can unqualifiedly say this. There is no other country on earth that is as welcoming of meritocracy as America is. This would be a huge step back for them. I'm also hoping that some of those 140 organizations that signed on for this caste bill will be watching this before they go to vote. This is just nothing but trying to make easy money for some people. That's all. There is nothing else. Of course, you can take a poke at India, poke at Modi. You can do whatever you want, but basically, this is what is the crux of it, as I see it. Shobhaji, I'll let you conclude. If you have some other people there who might want to just come wave to us, feel free to see if somebody is willing to talk to us. And in the meantime, Nikunj and I will continue. But first, you go ahead.
Yes, yes. And I thank the Seattle group here who's come about really bravely, especially after all the ups and downs they went through with the previous exercise of a similar stature. I want to really thank them because without them we couldn't be here. And some of them are here with us from the Seattle area as well. And we look forward to having more here. We have a lot of leaders here who are supporting us in this on the ground endeavor. And as you know, I have come all the way from Atlanta to be here and to make our presence felt and our voices most important of all. And we have more than 100 organizations who've signed up on the Kohna website with regards to a protest saying no to this very specific ordinance.
Thank you so
And
much,
I'll bring,
Shobhaji. Yeah,
yes,
go ahead.
and I can bring some of my friends here who have joined us. We have
Yeah,
Sri Krishna ji, who I'm going to introduce in a bit, and join me here, Sri Krishna. Wait, let me change the camera. Hold on just a
yeah,
second.
yeah. Yeah, while that is happening,
Yep.
yeah, there he is. Hi, Sri Krishna
Yeah,
ji. Yeah,
yeah. Hi, say hi.
namaskar.
So,
And
Sri Krishna ji is a Kona volunteer and he's come all the way from the Bay Area. And let's just find out from him what motivates him, what made him make this trek, take a day off, and be here for this.
Yeah, namaste everyone, and thank you for giving me.
Speak up.
So, namaste everyone, thank you for giving me this opportunity. As Shobhaji is mentioning, yes, I am not from this area. I flew all the way from the Bay Area. Um, so, the reason why I want to be here and make my voice um, heard is I could not stand the undemocratic way in which they are trying to rush this bill through. Shamata Sawant is making every attempt to make sure that the broader Hindu community does not know about the process that is involved in passing through this ordinance, which will have a very far-reaching impact, not just for this current generation, but many more future generation of Hindus to come. This is the colonialism repeating all over again. They are introducing the crooked caste system that the colonial oppressors brought to our India. They are trying to impose the same rigid caste-based society and create divisions within the Hindu society so that they can continue their divide and conquer strategy. That's what upsets me. What upsets me is that the broader Hindu community that is here, which opposes this bill, is not given an opportunity because they are doing this in a very secretive way. Mm-hmm. This is literally how I felt. They want to make sure that Hindu community does not know that this bill of such a prominence is actually going through. And I have spoken to 20, 30 organizations, including temples, non-profit organizations, businesses. They have no clue what's going on. They don't know what's going to hit our Hindu community. And that really bothered me because I thought US is a democratic place where there is no scope for such an undemocratic process, but it is happening right in front of my eyes, and I couldn't stop myself from coming here and do my duty as a dharmic Hindu. That's all I'm here for.
thank you so much, Sri Krishna, and have a safe trip and enjoy the fun. It's going to start in a few hours. You'll start seeing busloads of people coming. If my previous experience is any indicator, that's how they do it. They will be even coming from across the country. I mean, across from Canada also. You'll start seeing busloads. Enjoy the fun. This is going to happen again. They know that this is a little bit on the slippery slope. Thank you so much, Sri Krishna.
Thank
And
you.
while Shobhaji tries to get other people, would you like to have more people, Shobhaji? Because I can then go to Nikunj and have him give a last word summary. Go ahead,
Yes.
Nikunj. Yeah,
Let me get Kritika on. And
yeah,
let Nikunj go on. And then we
yeah,
can have
yeah. Go
Kritika
ahead.
come.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
No, no worries. I think on this is the power of grassroots, right? Like I gave someone an example yesterday that look, we are fighting a 350-pound boxer, okay, a heavyweight boxer, and we are the featherweight, 150-pound featherweight, who's going up against a 350-pound boxer, when the rules have been set by the other side. Okay, so we are
Yes,
playing in that field, but you know what? We're not going to go down without a fight. We have to fight because this is our dharma, and this is an attack on our community, and it's an attempt to divide it. They one of the things that you see in that 140 organization letter is a direct attack on Kona, Hindu American Foundation, Hindu Pact, saying that these are all run by upper caste Hindus who support ethno nationalism in India, things like that, all baseless allegations, and we challenge them to produce any evidence, and their evidence, you know what that is? Yeah, we are supporting minorities, religiously persecuted minorities, because CAA was passed, or we are supporting the rights of indigenous Kashmiri Hindus, who have been persecuted and things like that. That's what, for them, right-wing extremism is all about. Supporting the rights of minority Hindus is right-wing extremism. Number one. Number two is their baseless allegations that our leadership is composed of upper caste Hindus. We have three, not one, three Dalit and Bahujan community leaders on our national steering committee and the board of directors. Okay, so it reflects the diversity of the Hindu community on our organization itself. We have people from all walks of life. So to call us upper caste Hindu right-wing extremist organization, these are all words that they try to use and confuse the other side and scare people away. But you know what? We're not going to be scared because our team is on the ground. We have done the research, and we have the support of over 100 Hindu and non-Hindu organizations. In our letter, we have like groups like the Iranian Student Association. We have the North England, New England Indian Christian Fellowships. People like that who actually understand that this is a serious problem that is attempting to divide Hindu community and spreading Hindu phobia. And it's very clear. If you look at even the new ordinance as we talked about, right? It's clear to see that they keep saying while caste originates in Hinduism in India, that's always the starting point, right? Then they talk about other religions, but then they also use only one in one survey, essentially, which is the Equality Lab survey, that has very specifically targeted Hindus and Hinduism by talking about the Rig Veda, by talking about the four castes and things like that in their own colonial framework. So this is the kind of stuff that they're trying to jam through the city council.
thank you so much, Nikunj. And over to you, Shobha ji. Take it away.
Thank you, Sri. So we have Kritika here from the Seattle area, and she signed up as a Kona volunteer when she saw, and in her mind, she was reminded of all the things they went through for the CAA exercise, that the Hindu community and the Indian community in Seattle came together in an overwhelming way, showed huge numbers of support for the protest, for a march, and a very brave front they put up. And so she's here with us now, and she wants to redo this again. So let's see what the motivation is to come
Yeah.
back for another round of a very similar battle that she's already gone through.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so I was here in 2019 when this anti-CIA resolution was passed. We turned out in big numbers, and I'm sure we will turn out in big numbers today too and have the same effect that we had last time. And I have only two reasons to be here. Like, one is, whenever there is adharma, we have to stand up. As Krishna said, he will be there with us. Bhagwan will be there with us. So all we have to do is stand up and be there, and be part of the movement. That's one thing. Second, Seattle is my home. I want to make sure whatever money Seattle has, the scant resources we are having with all the situation going around, we use it in the right things. I have not seen caste being practiced anywhere around me. I don't know who my neighbor is, like what caste he or she belongs to. I don't know who my co-worker, what caste he or she belongs to. My relationship is very straightforward and simple. I have not seen any caste discrimination practiced anywhere around me. I don't want Seattle City's resources to go in a place where it's not required. We already have enough problems on our hand. Let's focus on that. Let's get that done and not waste our resources in places where it's not required. at least let's try to understand more. Even if you want to put in money, let's understand more. Let's not do this in a rush. There is no need, or there is no big rush for us to do this. So those are the two simple things for me in my very simplistic way of thinking around it.
Thank you, Kritika. And we have many others here. More of us are going to join as the day goes by. The sign up is at 12 o'clock noon. I think they may open the sign up a little earlier, and then 2 o'clock is when the meeting starts. We're all prepared, we're ready. We have our wonderful signs and placards ready. So stay tuned and keep an eye out for us on the Chikona channel, on the P Gurus channel, and everywhere else on our Instagram channels and Twitter as well.
Thank you so much, Shobhaji, and thank you so much, Kritika ji, so eloquent. And we wish you all the best. You know, this is important. This is a dharma. This is a fight for dharma, and I'm sure we will prevail. It's important that we understand where the truth lies. The truth lies, and that's where we are all headed. Thank you so much. And Nikunj, thank you so much again for taking time out from your
Of
busy
course.
schedule. And viewers, please share this thing as soon as possible, because the voting starts. I mean, they start talking about it at 12. The voting starts at 2 o'clock, 2, 3 hours left. You can get it in hands of some Seattler who may be able to cast his or her vote. You may make a difference. So please take it up. Aunts, uncles sitting in US or other places watching this thing before you turn into bed in India. You can send this thing to your your long lost loved niece. Say that you should go and vote for this, and let's get our numbers out there. Thank you so much again. Namaskar.
Some
Namaskar. Thank you.
no.